Jenny from Homestead Corner, and we are doing a little inspection around the property to see what needs to be fixed around here to get going for spring. Now the snow is almost melted. You can see we still got a little bit. So we're going to take it. We thought we'd bring you along with us and show you what's going on. We've got these beds over here. They're pretty big beds. They're like 16 feet long, 4 feet wide. There's 3 of them. And we grow quite a few veggies over here. Cleaned them up, added some stuff to them last year. Just got to turn them over and get them ready. Everything looks pretty much okay. Oh, we've got a little bit of bowing on the boards down here. You can see it's kind of sticking out. I'll have to fix that, take it apart and re-stabilize it a little bit. And 4 little herb beds over here that are a absolute disaster. I didn't even clean them out last year. I guess I was hoping they would mulch in, but they're evil. We'll get to that. We ordered about 6 cords of wood in log lengths. That's how we cut our wood. So we've got about half of it done so far. It's all cut, and we're just splitting it and hauling it and stacking it now. So we still got about 3 cords to go. We're not doing too bad though. Pretty fast for only a couple weeks and all the other stuff we have to do. So we'll get that cleaned up, and we'll use the pile of split junk for, we put it in feed bags and save it for kindling. It works great for kindling, all dried up nice. We like that. So we go around. So over here on this side of the garage, we still got some snow, and the comfrey bed needs to be cleaned up. We'll get that cleaned up. That'll come up quick once I get that done, once I get all the snow out of the way. And there's just a big long strip of comfrey there, which is nice. And we got our little ladies out here chilling out. We gotta get their pen cleaned out. There's still some snow in there in the back part of the run. It's not a huge run, but they were free ranging for quite a while, and we had a problem with foxes, so we kind of had a problem with some birds too, so we didn't want their run to be too big. So it's like 20 by 15 or 18 or something, but they can get out and play, and when we're out working in the yard, we let them free range still. We love having the chickens cruise around, and they really like it. So but on the days that we can't be right with them, then they're in their run and they still get to be outside. And the ladies are happy. So a couple trees come down this winter with the ice, and it was a mess. So we've still got some branches to clean up, stuff like that around the edges. The raspberry bushes are still standing strong. You cannot hurt these things. These are like wild raspberry bushes, and the more we pick them, the bigger the berries get. But we have these bushes all around the edges of our property, which is really nice. So they're nice, juicy, yummy raspberries, and there's blackberries mixed in some spots, so which is super cool. We love the blackberries and the raspberries. And so we've got these over here. And then we've got a few trees growing in there, which is okay. And we've got some hybrid raspberries over here that I actually planted about 5 years ago. And these things are just ginormous. And they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We love those. It's great. It's definitely a great investment. I think I got three plants in a pot for like $5 or something. I bought just a few of them, not too many. Wasn't bad. And then we have a little, this is a little, like a hazelnut tree. So I always called it monkey balls because it looks like a pair of legs and balls. It's a little tree. This thing does great. But it's looking pretty good. It's showing some signs of life. Little buds on there. So, which is really nice. Our fire pit, we need to get that burned down. We got a bunch of junk we threw on there. Let's see. How's the woodshed doing? I haven't been in here in a while. Whoa. Ooh, there's not much. Well, I guess it's good we got our wood early because the woodshed is almost empty. Ah! And it's getting warm, so not too many fires. We've got up here our little asparagus bed. This thing's it's growing all kinds of grass in the late fall. So we'll get that cleaned up. We'll have asparagus soon. It comes up pretty quick. Some nice big blueberry bushes. Oh, let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah, that's pretty big. Those are high bushes. They're still pretty young, only about 3 years old. And but they produce quite a lot of blueberries, which is nice. And they're nice, great big yummy ones. Nice and juicy. And down here we have some low bush, like wild Maine blueberries. And these little guys are already starting to bud. You can see the buds on them. So we will get the leaves cleaned out of there. We kind of push the leaves in the fall to help insulate them, but they do really well. We love these. They're little tiny Maine blueberries. We found these out in the woods and brought them out and transplanted them. And they are great. They've been doing great. We've had them out here for about 4 years. So that works out good. When we brought the property, it had hundreds of these stumps everywhere. There's everywhere. The whole thing that's cleared. We haven't cleared anything. It was all cleared like this. But everywhere, they were like all this close, like they are in the shot. They're just everywhere. So we pulled, I don't know, probably 80 stumps out of here. And we still have a few to go. Slow but sure, we'll get her done. And then back here, this is a new garden that we put in. We used to have sheep, and this was part of their pasture. So we don't have sheep anymore. So we are turning this into a garden, which we just closed it off last year. And we got a couple of rows of strawberries planted. And it looks like a few of them made it. Got a couple coming up here, and there's not a whole lot. I hope we didn't lose them. We had some really nice, big, huge, healthy strawberry plants, and we were hoping that they would make it in here. But we'll add what we need to. There's a few more here. But we got a few over here also, 2 short little rows. And there's a few plants that made it in there, which is really nice. Some extra fencing. Not sure what we're going to do with that. I'm going to be digging up the outside of this whole back wall of this fence for loofah so it can grow. And we've got the beehive back there. We're getting bees next week. So they will have direct access to the garden, the biggest piece of garden. And then we're going to put a few rows of corn in here. We got a little stone circle started, and we're going to put a bunch of little beds in the back for potatoes and squash and whatever, cucumbers, all that good stuff. We'll fill it right in. We're going to get borrow my dad's rototiller so we can clean a lot of this up and get it ready. And then we'll build a few raised beds, I think, back there. And the greenhouse is finally, the snow is out of the greenhouse. So we can get our plastic on and get this baby cooking. So it needs a little work in here. The winters are rough up here in Maine, but behind this section of fence is all raspberries, all the way around back here. It is all raspberries over to the beehive, which is nice. It's just all along the edge, and then there's like a big drop down there and a little brook to the edge of our property. I don't think you can really see it. but it's a pretty steep hill. It goes down probably 90 feet. It's really cool. It's a nice piece of property. It's a little flat spot down there. You can run around in the trees, and there's some apple trees in there and all kinds of stuff. We grow some ferns so we can get some phillips, which we love. That's coming right up too. Next month we'll have those babies popping. And let's see. So we just have the little garden beds left up by the house. So let's go check another bed over here that's 16 by 4, and this is for like pumpkins and what have you, whatever we decide to throw in there. Pumpkins grow pretty good over here. And then we have this beautiful lilac bush up behind it, which is nice. And over here, down by the front, oh, if I got a mess. Well, down by the back of the house, actually. So I've got this, like, it's made out of logs and stumps, but I've got to get this cleaned out. We grow herbs in here, some chives, green onions, some mint, sage, things like that in here. Just a little strip. And then there's a few 3x5 beds here. There's 3 of them. And oh, look at that. The garlic is coming up that I planted about 2 weeks ago. So we're looking good. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I've never planted in the spring before. But these babies are getting nice and big. Look at that. Hello, Mr. Garlic. So that's pretty exciting. We got something growing. And then we have 2 more of these 3x5 beds that we plant stuff in. And I never really know what's going to go in there until I put it in there. Just shove it all in. Plant as much as we can. So it looks like my sage bush over here, which was pretty big last fall. There's a few green ones left in here. So it looks like this made it. It usually looks quite frightening after the winter, which it does right now. But every time I've had some with a few green leaves left, it makes it, and it starts taking off like crazy. And I've got another little patch of chives here. And over there we've got a huge oregano bush. That baby is gigantic. It's about 4x4. Once it grows up, we cut it off every year down at the bottom, and it grows like wild. And a few daisies in there, and my son wanted to plant daisies because that's my favorite. And we've got this great rose bush, little arbor thing that my husband made me. You can see it here. It's huge. But there was a trampled rose bush out front, and we saved it and brought it out back when we bought the house and built this trellis for it. And let's see, we got a rose bush over here and some empty ground to put, we put herbs and flowers, chamomile, stuff like that in here. And we have a beautiful clematis vine that comes up this other side, but I think the roses are going to completely devour this trellis this year. It's amazing. All right, well, that is pretty much all around the parts of the homestead that we use. And I want to thank you all for coming with me. And I got a lot of work to do because I was a slacker last year, and I got to get to it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.